Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Hornet Nation. I'm Livi Morgan.
And I'm Pelton. In this week's show, we go over physics of sports, introduce a new segment, and see another food for thought segment with Mr. Lao Chu.
All of this and more on this episode of Hornet Nation. Mr. Brown, one of the physics teachers here at Saline, is starting a physics and sports class next year. Travis Woodman gets us a sneak peek into one of the class's lessons.
Everything you do in your daily life involves physics in some way, from getting out of bed to making edge cookies. Physics teacher Mr. Brown shows us how physics can impact your athletic ability, specifically how your shoes can affect your performance.
So athletes have a lot of different types of shoes, and depending on their sport, whether or not they need traction or they don't need traction, they'll change their shoes for those various reasons. So we have 3 different shoes here: basketball shoe, dress shoe, and Travis's stinky croc. So the force of friction equals mu times normal. So mu is that coefficient of friction times our normal force, which is just the weight of the shoe. The croc was 12 newtons times mu equals that force to drag it, which was 4 newtons. So you get 4 over 12, you get 1/3. So the coefficient of friction is going to be 0.3 repeating. And we'll do the same for the dress shoe and the basketball shoe. Take 8.5, and that one was 14 newtons for the weight of it. So I'm going to take 8.5 divided by 14. And our coefficient of friction there is 0.61 for the dress shoe. So 9.5 divided by 14. And that one has a higher coefficient of friction, as we would expect a basketball shoe to have. So there you have it. Fun little way to figure out how sticky your shoe is. I'll be having a physics of sports class I'll be running next year. And in that class, we're going to look into how different shoes behave differently with different surfaces. And so in that physics sports class, we're really going to dive into how physics is intertwined in those sports, and maybe we can help some students improve their athletic ability.
If you're interested in taking this new class, make sure to talk to your counselor to add it to your schedule for next year. Being an exceptional athlete isn't just about working out. Eating well and taking care of your body will help your athletic career thrive. Mr. Lao Chu gives us some advice on how water benefits athletes in this segment of Food for Thought.
Water is an important aspect of a person's health and is extremely important for athletes to know how water affects them. To learn more, Hornet Nation spoke with Mr. Lao Chu and some of his students.
If we consider this sponge, and this is like your body, if I take this water and I pour it in there really slow, and I do little increments of it, the water stays. But if I pour a whole lot of this water on top, you can see that it just runs right out. And that's what happens for a lot of people.
There are many great ways to stay hydrated throughout the day.
These graduations on the water bottles that a lot of people use are great because they actually can tell you that you're going to be taking in so much water so often. If you consider 250 milliliters every hour, that's a great way to pour that water into your body slowly so it gets absorbed. The other way is through foods and drinks like milk or Gatorade or something like that, because what happens is that when you take in those extra nutrients, your body slowly absorbs the water. If it's just water, it can go really, really fast.
Some of Mr. Lao Chu's students bring us more insight on water consumption.
Every body is different, so it's really important to keep track of how much you're sweating during a workout. Some people lose more water doing the same activities than other people.
Rehydration can take upwards of 2 to 3 days, so you have to know your body and know how long it could take for you to rehydrate.
But you can't have too much of this vital liquid.
There is something that's just as serious as dehydration, and that's called hyponatremia, which is a low sodium. And when you drink a whole lot of water, you're flushing out those electrolytes, which can also cause problems with your heart, cramping, neurological impulses, you're slower to respond, and it definitely affects your athletic performance.
Always remember, Hornets, keep track of how much water you're drinking, make sure to drink water gradually throughout the day, and make sure you aren't drinking too much water. Signing off, I'm Adair Jose. Back to you in the studio.
To learn more ways to stay in shape and improve your performance, sign up to take Mr. Lauchu's Human Phys and Fitness for Athletes classes next school year. We here at Hornet Nation have started a new segment called Head to Head. This is where two different athletes from different sports go head to head with each other. In this episode, we look at the differences between the boys and girls lacrosse sticks and how athletes handle switching the two.
From afar, boys and girls lacrosse seems very similar. However, if you take a closer look, there are many differences. One of the biggest differences is the stick. The main difference between the girls' stick and the boys' stick is the pocket. Boys' sticks have a larger pocket because of the added physical contact between players. The larger pocket makes it easier to keep possession of the ball during this physical contact. Girls' sticks have a smaller pocket, similar to the Native American origins, that adds the challenge of trying not to drop the ball. Another difference is the length of the stick. Boys' lacrosse sticks range from 37 to 72 inches long, while girls' lacrosse sticks range from 35.5 to 43.25 inches. To show this major difference, we have two senior lacrosse players, Caroline Layden and Cameron Crawford, swap sticks and go head to head.
I'd probably say it'd be easier to defend with. Harder is definitely probably shooting and getting it like a good distance.
It's a lot easier to pass and shoot with that accurately and consistently, I'd say.
Cameron and Caroline both agree that switching their sticks is not a good idea. This has been Head to Head. Back to you in the studio.
If you have a friend that plays another sport and you want to go head to head with them, let us know and you might be on the next edition of Head to Head.
That's all for this show. We take next week off due to the testing schedule, but be sure to tune in on April 17th for a sit-down with the new soccer coach, inside the game with the girls lacrosse team, as well as some current scores.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter for the latest show updates, @NationHornet, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Saline Video. Signing off, I'm Cole Pelton.
And I'm Livi Morgan. Have a marvelous day, Hornets.